guys, I have probably refilmed this 4 or 5 times now. So full disclosure, it is politically charged. If you're new to my channel, welcome. I don't always talk about anything political. The reason I'm talking about it is because it's a subject that hits very close to home, but also really correlates with what's going on in our country right now. So I just wanted to hop on and make a quick little video about it and just kind of chat with you guys. Please check out all my other videos. Subscribe if you haven't already and hit that notification bell. It'll notify you when I post. I don't have a regular schedule, but I definitely try to post once a week. If not, follow me on Instagram, simply.cassie05, and I will let you know there when I post a new video as well. So with that said, let's just get started. We moved, and I've said that probably 100 times on my channel now, but when we moved, my husband had a side business that he was operating, and that had to do with firearms. And so when you deal with firearms and you have to go through the FFL, which also has regulations and things that you have to be compliant with, once we got all settled, my husband started the necessary steps to be in compliance with FFL, and one of those was to be in compliance with the city and to get a license, a business license from the city. Now, we're not looking to run our full business, we're not looking to do anything with that. It's merely just to keep our licensing current, and it also is necessary for my husband's current full-time job. So there's just little reasons why we need to do this. So he went to the city, did his application, gives a little brief summary of why we're submitting an application for. With that, the city sends out a letter to residents within 200 yards, I believe, of our house. And so, of course, because the nature of the business is firearms, we had some opposition. The way I understand it is it started out with 2 neighbors, and both of them are directly next to us. One of them was the ringleader. But when that happens and there's opposition, the city has to set a date and we go before the city council. We weren't in any way violating any of the city ordinances or rules, so there's no reason why this license shouldn't go through. But at this point, we just have to go through the hoops, which is attending this meeting. And at this meeting, the neighbors are going to voice their concerns and complain and whatnot. So in that, I think it was a 3-week time. So in that 3 weeks, the 2 neighbors turned into 11 neighbors. And we had a couple very small amount of neighbors that were very supportive of us, but as time drew, the ringleader started fabricating stories about us. And basically what happened is he got the neighbors worked up. And I started piecing this together after the meeting and after what happened, so I'll just kind of get to that. But no one bothered to talk to us, no one bothered to knock on our door and ask us to explain or put their minds at ease or answer. They didn't even give us an opportunity to answer any questions that we had. So it got very awkward in our neighborhood for that time being. Neighbors became unfriendly, they ignored us, they wouldn't look at us in the eye if we were out in our yards. It got really kind of nasty in my mind. So we go to the meeting. That was last Wednesday, and it was really quite comical. My husband had a chance to get up and say his piece and basically just kind of stated the facts and told the city council that we have no intentions of running a business. We had the ringleader actually at one point started complaining about UPS and knocking over his rocks and lights, and I still am not sure what that has to do with us, but it turned into some neighbors were implying that my husband was lying, that we do have intentions of running a full business. We're just lying to get through the hoops. Now, he didn't say lying, but he was trying to build a case. There's a couple that had valid questions that we were happy to answer. So at the end, we did get to have a rebuttal and answer some of those questions. And then the city council voted on if the license should go through or not. And of course it did. It was approved because there was no reason, like I said, not to. Since then, we've had 2 neighbors approach us. One of them just came up and chatted with us, and I think they were really making an effort to kind of mend the fences. Another neighbor wrote a sweet note and apologized for jumping to conclusions and not, one, not giving us the benefit of the doubt, but 2, not speaking with us. So that was just really nice and encouraged me that we need to keep on acting the way that we were. We have since then we believe have been tried, my husband was tried to be baited into a sale so that they could go back to the city and give proof that we were lying. We didn't fall for that one. And I won't go into details on why we think that, but it was very suspicious to say the least. So, but with what's going on in our country and with what happened in our little world is just that we had one neighbor go around and work all the neighbors up to the point where communication was thrown out the window. And I really just kind of look at that as a smaller picture of what's going on in the United States right now. Mr. Ringleader over here really represents the media and the agenda that they're pushing. He really represents the lies and the fabrications, and the rest of the neighbors really represent a lot of America where they just take the news for truth instead of searching out the real statistics, searching out the real story and what happened. And instead everything is just emotionally, politically charged, and what we're seeing today is just this huge clashing and such unrest. And it's so sad because it grieves me that I feel like our Second Amendment is on the line. Our right to bear arms is on the line, and it's scary. In that time, I can't say that my husband and I didn't want to act out. I mean, they made us angry, we were upset, it was sad. I mean, all those emotions when you're being treated that way, it's unfair, and you feel like it, and you feel like you have to defend yourself. We just kept living our lives and doing what we were doing, and at the end we did go and stand up and we did fight for our rights. And I just think that at the end of the day, being peaceable and letting our actions speak louder than words is gonna speak volumes. Now, I know that doesn't always work, and there's so many more intricate things that go into our nation and everything that's going on right now, but in your own life and in your little world, to be an example, I believe will speak volumes, because I don't believe that some of those neighbors would have turned or even come to talk to us if we were acting out and we were acting all foolish and being rude and mean and unkind. So it just encouraged me that I'm responsible for how I act, and I need to make sure that I am being an example, a responsible gun owner, and letting that shine as bright as it can in my own little world. So, and I just wanted to close with this. It's Proverbs 10:12. Hatred stirs up strife, but love covers all sins. And I hope that you guys are having a great day. Make change in your little world. We can all have a voice, and we can all do it passionately, but also lovingly. So with that said, you guys, I hope that you are having a great day, and I will see you in my next video. Bye. bye.